Okay boys, so in this video I want to talk about my 3.17 league starter. So I started the league with a Helix Raider, and then as soon as I got the new Eldritch crafted gloves for +1 strike skills, I transitioned to Lightning Strike and haven't looked back since. So Lightning Strike, pretty self-explanatory. A lot of content creators have made build guides about this, so people like Kobe Black Mamba, Crouching Tuna, and there was this other content creator called Fuzzy Duxy Gaming. He does a lot of early progression stuff, so for new players it's very useful for you to get ahead of the build and so on. But in this one, I am still gonna go over everything I did and how I built my character because there are a couple of tweaks I made here and there. Just wanted to show them off to you guys. So let's just start off with the passive skill tree. So basically we're focused on the right hand side of the tree, then we go down up to the duelist area, and I'll tell you why we do that in a second. Obviously you do need to figure out what tree is best for you. There are a lot of min-maxing things you can do. I found that this tree is perfect for me personally. So I'm just gonna put everything down below in the POB because I don't want to make this video too long. Just a couple of things. I am using Grace Determination Defiance banner plus Anger and max level precision, so I do need a lot of mana reservation efficiency. So we are getting the Determination mana reservation efficiency here, the Grace one here, the Precision one here, and then we are anointing the Sovereignty cluster from the Templar area so we can fit all of our ores. Plus you need level 3 Enlighten. So this build is not very cheap, but I wanted to start with something that had some scalability to it, and you can keep investing until you reach mirror territory. I haven't gotten there myself, probably won't get there in this league, but yeah, just nice to know that there's a high ceiling of investment that can be done on this build. Just a couple more things. We are picking one power charge because we are using Pharaoh's Fur, plus I am using the charge mastery over here, so our frenzy and power charges are each like 20 seconds long, so we have constant 9 frenzies and 4 power charges. So just for this one node here, I'm getting 40% increased critical strike chance, which is pretty good. Now there is one way you can drop this if you want the absolute peace of mind and smoothness and consistency I'm going for here, and this is if you get 2 jewels with a harvest implicit of power charge duration and 1 jewel with frenzy charge duration, which would make your power charges and frenzy charges each last 12 seconds. So the rotation would be pretty consistent. Just as they're about to go drop, they'll just come back up. And of course there's this the easiest way, which I haven't went for personally. You can craft aspect of the cat on one of your pieces which can hold sockets. So I crafted mine on the ring, and this ring specifically cannot hold sockets, so I need to have the charge duration, but you can just put it on the gloves or anywhere else you want, and then chuck in a less duration, or I think Swift Affliction also works, and then the rotation will be reset every like 7 or 8 seconds, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so this is basically the tree. We are getting the mark stuff here. We're getting crit for maximum spell suppression since we're spell suppression capped. Of course, the broken elusive stuff right here. Nightblade is definitely getting nerfed next league, so yeah, just play around with it while you still can, because next league we are definitely going to receive a nerf. Yeah, in my opinion, GG wanted to let us have some fun this league, so I think that's why they left spell suppression untouched, Nightblade, and also Trinity. So yeah. So this is the tree. You can check it in the POB. Let's just go over the gear first. Sorry, second. Starting off with the claw, we are obviously elemental based. We are using Trinity, so we need at least 2 elements for our Trinity to be rotating. The rule of thumb is that your minimum and maximum damage for your one element needs to be equal to the combination for the minimum and maximum of the other damage. So let me just explain that a little bit simpler. So the sum of the minimum and maximum damage for your one element needs to be equal to the sum of the other. So in this case, we are using our highest elemental damage is cold and lightning. So obviously we have like what is that, 16k lightning damage and 16k cold damage average, which is perfect for us, is just great. And that means your Trinity will rotate very consistently and you don't have to worry about that. Now the fire damage is never gonna count for Trinity, since your maximum fire damage is 4600 in this case, and our minimum is for cold is 6000. So even if lightning rolls below 4600 fire, it will always be lower than our cold. So fire is simply here for just extra free damage, since we're not scaling specific cold or lightning penetration. We're scaling elemental damage, elemental penetration, and crit multi. So this is pretty good here. That's where we are using anger, because this is just extra damage. Ignites, by the way, don't do anything unless you want to, chuck in a Cinder Swallow Urn to get the extra damage taken, but I've chosen not to do that. So yeah. Okay, so claw, cold, lightning damage. Obviously you can go for lightning, fire, you can go for cold and fire, and just make sure that your Trinity is proccing. You need to figure this one out yourself, since there's a specific balance in every build, and each build is, even if they follow the same build guide, we all have different gear, so it's not always the same. So you need to figure this one out yourself. If you can, get a chosen, so this is a probably veiled Chaos Orb crafted, or it was Aisling crafted, I'm not sure. So yeah, I got this claw from one of my friends who quit the league. My claw was pretty much exactly the same. The only thing is that I had a higher lightning damage, so than this. I think it was a essence crafted or something like that. It was like 20 to 300 and somewhere in that range, but my cold damage was lower. So yeah, I think these are quite expensive nowadays, but I got mine for like I think it was 6 or 7x, so it was pretty cheap in the beginning of the league. But claw, obviously your #1 damage source. You need to obviously invest some currency into this. This is not a cheap build, but it's very fun. So yeah, okay, so that's it about the claw. Obviously you need attack and crit chance. If we are going berserker, you don't need the crit chance, since you go alternate ailment and you go for brittle, which caps out your crit chance just like that instantly. Okay, helm. Here we're using a Blizzard Crown. Obviously we need the Lightning Strike enchant for additional pierce. If you don't have the enchant, you can go for the new Eldritch Gloves, which have 1 strike, so strike skills target 1 additional enemy, and projectile pierce, so you can get these 2 modifiers, which are super strong for our build. So I probably used these that type of glove, just for the first week. Like I swapped to these gloves I think yesterday or the day before. So yeah, pretty strong. If you can get the enchant, go for it. Of course, Blizzard Crown is absolutely mandatory, huge flat damage increase, so that's very good for us. And then you have an option to awaken the Shaper mod, so the nearby enemies take 6% increased elemental damage, with either elemental damage from Warlord or crit multi from Warlord. When I think about it, you should probably awaken the crit multi, since they're both suffixes, and this elemental damage is a prefix. So if your prefixes are full, your item is basically bricked, since you can't, you know, if you don't get life, if you get some, you know, evasion and energy shield like this one, but without the spare, you know, open prefix, helm is basically bricked. So just go for the crit multi, and obviously you can go for elevated, but since I don't have that much currency, we tried and did the elevation with these two. Okay. These gloves, sorry, this helm came with the cold res, and I just YOLO exalted the lightning resistance tier 7. Not great, obviously pretty bad, if I'm honest, but it's better than nothing, so I am happy with it. Okay, Ami, obviously try to fix your attributes, since I don't need much. If I take this off, I'm still, you know, able to wear all my gear, but it had double crit suffixes, you know, a nice life row and a nice elemental damage with attack skills row, and the most important thing for me is that it had an open prefix, so I can craft the minus max to channeling skills, to non-channeling skills, sorry, since we are rocking 15 mana and our lightning strike costs 9. Most of my skills are life tapped, so I don't have to worry about it, but obviously our main skill, we need all 6 links. So 9 mana is pretty good. You have huge leech, obviously a little bit of mana gained on hit, so no problems there. For the anoint, as I said, sovereignty, if you don't want to run the same defensive setup as I do, you can anoint divine judgment. That's our single biggest increase, 50% increased elemental damage. Pretty self-explanatory, so yeah, don't need to talk about it. Shield, spell suppression for your cap, life, some resists, chance to avoid elemental ailments, so you are elemental ailment immune with our ascendancy, which gives us 50% here, and this cluster, which gives us 20%, so it's 70%. We need exactly 30% elemental ailment avoidance. I chose to get it on the shield, since this is my defensive setup, and it had an open prefix, so I can craft some flat damage, which obviously scales really nice with all of our increases and more multipliers and so on. Okay, so our 2 rings, obviously Mark of the Elder, very big damage increase for lightning strike, you know, flat cold, almost 100% increased attack damage if you quality it with attack catalysts. Pretty good there. You do need obviously a shaper item in your other ring slot, and ideal base for this is obviously an opal ring, and yeah, this has some, you know, some strength, some cold damage to attacks, life, Eli res, and some crafted lightning damage. Bear in mind that your elemental damage on your ring will scale. If you have an opal ring, you scale your implicit, and all of your flat damage increases. Also, if you have, I think you can get elemental damage with attacks as a prefix as well. So that's just you know, a pretty good use of an attack catalyst on the ring. Okay, glove slot, as I said, for the majority of my playthrough, probably over 6-7 days, I run with a pair of gloves which had strike skills target 1 additional enemy, and projectile spears 1 additional time. Also, I didn't have this helm since, you know, it was given to me by a friend who quit the league, and I had just a normal blizzard crown with some life resists and an open prefix, so I can craft an additional pierce. So you get 2 pierce just from the implicit on the gloves and the helm, so you don't need double awakened items to actually play this build. Of course it helps, but I'm just giving an option if you know, you don't have the currency or something like that. So this pair of gloves is actually not that cheap. I got this one, you know, it was basically a snipe. It was listed for 12x. It was worth 12x, and I didn't even have 12x. I had 7x and 1 awakened orb and some other shit, so I just gave the dude everything. He agreed and gave me the pair of gloves, so pretty happy about this pair of gloves. I'm not gonna be replacing this anytime soon, probably never. Okay, so belt is basically a resistance slot for me. I don't need the strength here as well. This one was pretty good because it had, you know, elemental damage with attacks. Also, it had a spare prefix, so you can craft increased generic damage, which is pretty good. So I need this to cap my resists. Obviously, you can go for Stygian Vice and chuck in an Abyss Jewel with some blind, some flat damage to attack skills and whatnot, whatever you want. Okay. Boots, you can go for a couple of options here. Darkrai Vectors are the single, you know, best in slot damage boot in my opinion, since they give us one maximum frenzy charge, and we scale frenzy charges pretty hard. Alternatively, you can go for the new Eldritch Boots with some implicits for spell suppression, movement speed, and elemental avoidance. Grim actually put out a video where he talks about how you can get 31% element avoidance or something like that on your boots, so that's pretty good there. But yeah, these pair of boots are, you know, pretty good, pretty hard to beat with the plus maximum frenzy charge. Okay, and I know I skipped the chest slot. We're gonna talk about it right now. Pharaohs, obviously, you know, not a big surprise. Gives us absolute, you know, smoothness. All about the consistency. It gives us cat stealth and cat's agility. And whenever you get cat stealth or the other one, I don't know, you just reset all your frenzy and power charges, which is absolutely amazing. You don't have to worry about them falling off. How you generate them on phased bosses like Cyrus or Maven, or, you know, all the new bosses and stuff like that. So this is very good. You have constant frenzy and power charges, and if you know, if you value quality of life, Pharaohs is the best. Alternatively, you can go for, you know, a more defensive option where you go for the new Eldritch mods, or you can just go for a double, you know, awakened chest piece with attacks crit, additional curse, explode, power charge on crit, increase maximum life, whatever, it's your choice. But in my opinion, Pharaohs is just unbeatable when we talk about quality of life. So that's it about the gear. Let's go over the gems real quick. Lightning Strike, elemental damage with attacks, Nightblade, Divergent Inspiration. I need the extra reduced mana cost since I'm very mana starved. Divergent multi-strike, obviously you can get Awakened multi-strike if you're rich, and Trinity. So basically you can get elemental damage attacks and multi-strike as Awakened versions, but they are pretty expensive. I think Awakened elemental damage is like 5 exalts right now or something like that. But yeah, this is our highest damage setup. You don't need any flat damage gems in here. This is, you know, the best setup in my opinion. Okay, so in the gloves, in the claw, we have just the cast when damage taken, Molten Shell. Be sure that the Molten Shell is not a Vow version, because we need the Vow souls for the Lightning Strike, and they are shared if you know, you have 2 Vow skills. And it does cost life. It costs like 82 life, but you have so much leech that you barely notice anything. This build can only die to one shots and very high degens, you know, in high content. So cast when damage taken, nice defensive setup here. In the helm, I'm rocking Withering Step, obviously to reset your elusive. I'm not gonna explain this. You can just go check out the other content creators' videos. Mark on hit, Assassin's Mark. Obviously, this is the new combination. You can link life tap to it. I've linked, you know, all the 2 skills with life tap, since I don't want to worry about it. So this one costs, let me just see. This costs 200 life. I barely notice it, and the Withering Step costs 69 life. Nice. And that's it for the helm. So the shield, we are rocking a Ancestral Protector with multiple totems. I have my precision here, so you need multiple totems. Actually, I don't know if you need it, but it's better than 1, right? So you have 3 totems. That's 3 times as many totems. So if a hard boss slaps one of your totems, one shots him, you still have the other 2 which give you the attack speed bonus. You can chuck in War Chief as well. You can get Panopticon as an anoint, but as I said, I'm rocking all these auras, so I need my anoint. You don't need Cunning Strike on your totems since you have the Mark for Death Mastery. So that's clear about the totems. Gloves, we are rocking our Grace, Determination, Enlighten level 3 or higher, and Anger. So this is our defensive setup and damage setup. So these are 50% auras, as well as Defiance Banner and Precision max level. By the way, you can run all of these with the setup I'm showing right now. And in the boots, we have our Defiance Banner, just very, very solid defensive layer, super strong banner skill, and our movement spell, which is Whirling Blades, faster attacks, and life tap support. Okay, so let's talk about our flasks. All of my flasks are automated. Obviously, this is not, you know, optimal setup you can play if you have a good flask management. If you have good flask management skills, you can just have them normal. But I've chosen all of these three to be used when charges reach full. So how this works is when you go into the map, you need to press them once, so they you know, drop down with charges, and then every time they hit their maximum charge limit, they will automatically activate, so you don't need to worry about you know, just constantly spamming your flasks. I've chosen to put the Surgeon's prefix on it, which is chance to gain a flask charge when you deal critical strike, which is pretty good, and they both have some increased movement speed suffixes as well. My Bottled Faith is used when you hit a rare or unique enemy. I don't need this while I'm mapping, and yeah, this is pretty good. You don't need a Bottle of Faith. If you're not crit capped, you can just use a Diamond Flask, you can use a Cinder Swallow, you can use a Wise Oak, you can use even a Roomies if you want some more block. Just don't use a Lion's Roar because our damage is twofold on the Lightning Strike, so we are scaling generic elemental damage. We're not scaling neither melee nor projectile damage, because this skill consists of, you know, two portions, and we're trying to scale them both at once, not you know, scaling only melee or only projectile. Okay, so that's it about the skills and the gear and everything. Maybe we can check the Pantheons. I am running Arakali and Shikari since I don't have any chaos resistance on my gear. Softcore, by the way, I don't need it in my opinion. I'm just running, blasting through maps, not caring about anything. So my Pantheons are Arakali, so I can get some chaos resistance against damage over time, and you know, that's that degen which procs on maps, Desecrated Ground I think it's called, Caustic Ground, yeah, there it is, and Shikari. Okay, so that's it. I'm just gonna showcase a map right now, just so you have an idea of how this build works. Let's just go for a Hydra. Just gonna roll it right here. Temp chains. Let's just get some normal mods. Elemental weakness. Really reflect. Nope. Okay, this is fine. Yeah, I think I have some scarabs. Yeah, we have some sextants. We have delirium. We have unique boss extra life. We're just gonna blast this. We're gonna use Fortune Favors the Brave, since we are rocking the this thing right here, Shaping the Valleys, which gives us quantity and quality. By the way, this is my Atlas tree. You can just pause the video, and yeah, it's nothing special. Aspecting to Ritual, some Delirium nodes, some Shaper and Elder nodes, and some Conqueror nodes. I don't like the new stuff, haven't really bothered with it. Strong boxes, Harbies, Shrines. That's it. Basically nothing special. Okay, so you hit your flasks once, and then everything will be automated. By the way, I've tried the new League mechanic. you can check out my previous video. I did the Innocence Touched recipe, which was shown on the Reddit. In my opinion, it's not that worth it, but you might be more lucky than I am, so I kind of like the new mechanic. It's nice. It doesn't, you know, interfere with the mapping flow, since this league is definitely a mapping league, in my opinion. With the new Atlas stuff, the passives are super strong and your maps are really, really juicy. So, yeah. Be sure to save your Vol Lightning Strikes for the boss, so you can burst it. Gonna put one here. Don't really care about detonate. We have spell suppression. Okay, you can just stand here. You can AFK basically everything. I even tanked that corrupted blood. Obviously you can go for more damage with the new amulet, the crystallized omniscience. I've seen that most of the builds on PoE Ninja are using that one, but I don't personally like it. Obviously it gives you a lot of damage, but it does remove all your attributes, which means that it does remove a lot of life. It removes a lot of mana, which means you can't run all of the auras I'm running, and it removes a lot of evasion and accuracy, so you need to fix that somehow. Yeah, I just chosen to go for the generic route. Let's see how the boss goes. Okay, Hydra, hello. Goodbye. Oh shit. Okay, that's a fun showcase. Alright, so that's what happens when you get too cocky. Yeah, but you saw the damage was pretty nasty, and even with the extra life sextant, it's pretty strong. So that wasn't a very good showcase about the build's defenses, but I can assure you that if you're not playing like an idiot like I am, you will be absolutely fine with this build. It's rocking 13k armor and 48k evasion, full spell suppression, max resists, and so on and so forth. So I think this is all from me. If you have any questions or anything else you want to discuss, feel free to comment below the video. And if you like the content, you can subscribe and hit the like button. And that's it from me, guys. See you guys later.